Hey everybody, this is Colby. It's been a long time since we've recorded anything. No Dan or Tim with me here today, but I did just want to take maybe 5-10 minutes here and talk a little bit about The Hobbit. Uh, Obviously, anybody who thinks critically about movies knows that there are probably a lot of other movies that deserve more critical attention and analysis, but I think The Hobbit's a fan favorite, so I want to talk about it for a little bit here. Um, get some impressions out there. Uh, The Desolation of Smaug. Smaug? Is that how they're pronouncing it? I always thought it was Smog. I guess it's Smaug. Um, is a mostly just playful, whimsical action movie um, that has the same tone as the first one, as you would expect a sequel to. Um, People were maybe thought it was a little bit too playful, a little bit too childish. Despite the fact that some of the action is more intense, I still feel like they maintain, for the most part, the same tone as the unexpected journey. And when it boils down to it, that's the easiest way to sum up this movie. Is it's more of the same as the unexpected journey. Which, if you liked it, if you enjoyed the unexpected journey, it's great. It is a little bit of an improvement because of some of the material that they get to cover in the second half. But if you didn't like the first one, you're probably not going to like this one either because it stays the course. The single best part of the movie, however, is that we finally get to see Smaug. More importantly, we get to hear him, and as we get to hear him, we get to hear Benedict Cumberbatch's voice. Uh, it's amazing to me that they were able to take a dragon, which I usually think of as a creature, as a beast, monster, animal, and make him into a person, both because of the way he's written as well as because of the way he's acted. They don't make him seem like any of those things. They make him seem like a old, grumpy, yet highly intelligent, wise, greedy man. And I really like that. I think that the way that they've written Smaug, he speaks eloquently. Him and Bilbo have a great back and forth. I loved the dialogue, um, much in the way that the dialogue between Bilbo and Gollum in the unexpected journey part um, is very well written, very well acted. Again, really enjoyable, good stuff. So if you're thinking about, oh, I'll just see that on, Redbox or whatever, no, go to the theater just for the experience of seeing the dragon in all of its glory. Obviously, it's a lot of special effects, and they are far from perfect, but they serve the purpose of making Smaug both just huge in scale, but also a great character. Unfortunately, the movie, for the most part, doesn't feel like it's about the Hobbit. Doesn't feel like it's about Bilbo. It doesn't pose him as the hero. It's mostly about Thorin and Bard, who are both kind of Aragorn characters in that they are um, part of a bloodline that has fallen, a bloodline that is now looked down upon, and there's a question of can they live up to the former glory. And it worked with Aragorn. It does not work so much here. I don't care about Thorin or Bard. Um, I care about Bilbo as the small in stature, kind of represents the little man, and they get away from that. Um, and again, since they're making this into three movies, they had to add a lot of material in. Most of the material comes in the form of Tauriel, who is Evangeline Lilly from Lost. She, female elf from Mirkwood, who's an incredibly strong character, and her and Legolas and um, kind of have this extended relationship with the hobbits, and or not with the hobbit, with the company as they follow them towards the Lonely Mountain. So there's a lot of extra material there, and then Gandalf and Radagast as they go north to Angmar to pay a visit to the necromancer. Again, they try way too hard to tie this into the Lord of the Rings. Let it be its own thing. But the special effects of I'll just say that there's a great scene with Gandalf and the necromancer that was visually incredible. Did it need to be there? No, but that's one I'm personally grateful for. Thinking about the Hobbit, both the first one and this one, there's very, very few female characters. And then there's the question of how are they presented. Now, Toria, like I said, is an incredibly strong character who has her own motivations and acts on those, and is not an object. She's not merely being acted upon. She's a subject. She acts. But they also play her as a love interest, to some degree an object, for a couple of different characters. Now, what they do with her as a love interest is fairly interesting, but still, she's the only female character, and it's a toss-up of whether they choose to use her as her own woman or as just there to be in love with a man. Now, kind of like this review, The Hobbit goes on for way too long. Could have used an editor again. You could have found 20 to 30 minutes to cut out, and it would have been a much tighter, better film. And then that would have made the extended edition all that more glorious for the hardcore fans, but it was too long. I was ready to be done by the time, before it came to an end. But that, the easiest way to meter whether or not you're going to enjoy the Desolation of Smaug is, did you like the first one? Did you like An Unexpected Journey? Did you like the way that they change The Hobbit from a child's story into more of an action movie? Did you like the way that they stretch it out? And did you like the way that the CGI effects are much more prevalent than any practical effects? Still, I'd recommend go have the theater experience. It's a once in a lifetime, even though it's falling short of expectations. This is the Hobbit movie we get, and so I would recommend, if you're a Hobbit fan, get out there and enjoy it.